Hey there again. Welcome to Road to Data Engineer episode 5. So, last time I kind of looked at potential data sources to get tournament results for my BJJ analysis side project and kind of realizing, like, okay, I want to use the IBJJF website, which does not have an API, or at least not a public one as far as I can tell. So, I need to web scrape. Um, I started looking at that just very briefly at the end of the last episode, but today at work I spoke with a couple friends actually, who have done web scraping before. One of them showed me a few things, um, and she recommended this course here on Real Python. I also looked at some other possible options. There's this Automate Boring Stuff book, which I know was pretty popular. I've definitely had people recommend it to me before, and there's a whole section on web scraping too. So, there's like some Udemy courses, and there's stuff on DataCamp, and there's like a million YouTube tutorials too. Um, I don't know what uh, is the best resource. Obviously all these YouTube courses as well. But I think today this is going to be a pretty short episode because I'm going to go to a movie here in like 20 minutes or so. So I think today I'm just going to start by like just going through um, like the first couple videos in the course my friend recommended to me, and then seeing like, hey, does this seem like it's worth going into deeper or not? And if not, then I'll check something else out. So let's go ahead and get started. Overview, because I think this stuff is locked behind a paywall. All right, let's check it out.
Welcome to this Real Python exercises course, where you'll practice scraping and parsing data from the internet. Our exercises courses are all about training. You'll train the process of writing code by solving carefully selected exercises.
Mhm.
You'll also train reading other people's code and communicating your thought process. Doing all that, you'll practice the concepts that you've learned about in an associated course or tutorial and help make them stick. In the upcoming lessons, I'll introduce you to tasks, give you an opportunity to solve them yourself, and then show you step by step how I solved each of them. You'll go through 3 steps for each task. You'll learn about the exercise, you'll code your own solution, and
Yeah.
then you'll compare your solution and the process that got you there to mine. When I walk you through a task, I'll explain what I do and also why I do it like that. That'll give you a chance to
Okay.
compare not just our final solution, but also how we got there. Maybe you'll gain some insight on the process of getting from a task description to a working solution in code.
Yep.
You'll tackle 3 exercises in this course. The first exercise asks for pure standard library Python. You should use urllib to scrape and parse text from a website and then string
Mm-hmm.
methods to extract information from it. Then you'll add abstraction layers on top. So you'll actually see that the first exercise is going to be quite challenging. And then by adding abstraction layers of libraries that are just designed for web scraping and parsing, it'll get easier. In the second task,
Mm.
you use an HTML parser for web scraping, and specifically, that'll be Beautiful Soup.
Okay.
In the third task, you learn how you can interact with HTML forms using the Mechanical Soup library.
So what I'm seeing so far is I don't really like the idea of spending time not using libraries already set up to do web scraping. Like, I know Beautiful Soup is one of the super popular ones, and then Scrapey and Serenium, I think, was the other one. I'm also kind of unsure about this part here, interacting with Mechanical Soup. I haven't heard anything about this, but maybe that's fine. Um, so we'll see.
Before starting this course, you should have read through the introduction tutorial on web scraping with Python. If you went through that tutorial, then you're well equipped to use the tasks that I'll throw at you as training sessions. You can also explore the site that you'll work with under the URL olympus.realpython.org/profiles. And then you can click around a bit. For example, if you click on Aphrodite's profile, then you'll see the page that you can see at the moment on the slide. The concepts that you'll practice in this course are making web requests using urllib.
So I'm confused. Is this not? Do I need to go to a different link? Course slides, sample codes, introduction to web scraping with Python. So let's check that out.
welcome to this Real Python exercises course where you'll practice scraping and parsing.
Oh, maybe it's just something we read through, maybe. I don't know, let's see. Let's just keep watching.
Using string methods to extract information from text data, parsing HTML using Beautiful Soup, and filling and submitting forms using Mechanical Soup.
Mm-hmm.
If you're somewhat familiar with these concepts.
Oh, interacting with HTML. Okay, that makes sense, because I did read some stuff on Reddit where it was saying Beautiful Soup is really only for just straight up reading HTML. It's really not used for interacting with the web page itself much.
And you want to fortify your knowledge with practical programming tasks, then this course is exactly right for you. If you're feeling playful like Poseidon and his little fish, and you're ready to do hands-on programming, then keep watching. I'll see you in the next lesson where I'll introduce the first exercise.
Okay.
Here is your first exercise task. You're meant to write a program that grabs the full HTML from the following URL using Python's built-in URL lib library. And then you see the URL, which points to a specific profile on that Mount Olympus page that you've seen before. And specifically, you want to scrape the profile of Dionysus in this case. And once you've scraped the HTML, you should use the .find method on the resulting string object to display the text that comes after first the name and then the favorite color. So you want to pick out these two specific pieces of information and really just display the info that's noted there on Dionysus's profile page, basically,
Okay.
without any leading spaces or trailing HTML text. So you want to clean it up so that then you just get Dionysus and his favorite color as the result.
Okay.
And note that you should only use Python's standard library to complete this task, right? So that means the built-in URL lib library and then string methods. There's other ways to do this, of course, and later in the course, you'll tackle this in other exercises. But for this first one, stick with the standard library. Okay, so now go ahead and solve this task for yourself. And once you're done, or if you get stuck, you can move on to the next lesson where you can watch me and my approach to solving the challenge.
Okay, so let's write down the challenge real quick, because this does actually sound fun. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like I do need to read this first. He's not gonna actually walk through this, which if that's the case, that's fine. Practical table, build your first parser. Sites. Okay, so let's write down the problem real quick. So URL http dash olympus.real python.org/profiles /Dionysus. Let's actually go check out what this web page is too, real quick. Oh, okay, it's the one he literally described or showed in the video. That makes sense. Okay. And okay, so use the URL lib library to grab the full HTML from the above URL. Okay. That's one. Then use string.find to display the text that comes after one name and two favorite color. Remove any leading spaces or trailing HTML tags. Okay. You know, I want to look at the webpage too. My friend was showing me, I think it's F12 opens up the code. Oh, here we go. I think this is what my friend was showing me at work. So let's take a look. Title. body, HTML body center, body center. Okay, so let's see. So background color equals yellow. That's pretty self-explanatory what that is. Static, he's inserting the JPEG. Name, Dionysus, yep. Source, inserting a JPEG or a PNG there. And then here he's just straight writing text to the page. Okay. Favorite animal, leopard. Color, wine. Interesting. Okay. What the favorite color? String defined. So let's check out the next video and see if it's just him doing
That's
the
noted
solution.
there. Here is your first exercise task. You're meant to write a program that grabs the full HTML from the following URL using Python's built-in URL lib library. And then you see the URL, and once you've scraped after first the name and then put it there text. So you want to clean out that you should to do this for you where you
Okay.
the first thing that I always want to do before I start any sort of web scraping project is to check out the
Mm-hmm.
website using my browser. I want to understand what the structure is like and also
Mm-hmm.
just view it and see what I can find
Which
on
is
there.
pretty much what I just did.
So I just opened that URL inside of my browser, and you can see we've got this cute picture of Dionysus and then his name. We've got some hometown, favorite animal, and favorite color, right? So what we're interested in is Dionysus, which I can find after
Yep.
name colon. So that information is one piece. And then the second piece of information I'm interested in is wine, which I can find after favorite color, and then
Yep.
a colon and a space. Okay, so that's me just viewing the page as a normal user.
Mm-hmm.
But as a developer, I'm more interested in seeing the markup of the page. And here
Yep.
in my browser, I can do this by right clicking and going to view page source. And then I get the raw HTML that builds up this site. You can see this isn't super pretty HTML, which is also part of the point of this website to show you how to deal with somewhat malformed HTML,
Oh,
right?
there we go.
But you'll also encounter this a lot if you scrape pages from the internet. There's a wide range of quality of HTML out there. Okay, in this case, we can see that the name that you're looking for is inside of an H2 header, level 2.
Ooh, let's see. H2. So I actually want to write that down. So web scraping. Viewing web page HTML code. Use F12 to open the inspector, or right click web page and select view page source for the full layout. I wonder, I looked at the IBJJF page earlier today in this way, but I wonder what it looks like using this right click method. So let's just go to 2004, which I think is what we were looking at yesterday. View page source. Woo! It's biggin'. But it's good. Okay. So let's go back to the video.
Header. We have an image here and we have some line breaks. And finally, you can find favorite color wine. Okay, so this is the structure of the website that you have in here. Both of the information that we're interested in are inside of a center tag, and there's some images, there's a title. I don't like to see that all in uppercase. But anyways, that's like just the feeling you get when you look at HTML that's all not that pretty. anyways, that's not the point here. So we want to get out this information. And again, like it should be this Dionysus and it should be this wine.
Yep.
For the first task here, you're supposed to just scrape the whole page and get the HTML as a one chunk of text. So what I want to end up with is essentially this HTML wrapped in
Python.
triple quotes, if you want, right? This is the first result that I should get by scraping this page. And then after that, my next task is going to be to pick out two pieces of information and clean it up, Dionysus and wine, and make sure that I just get that text. And now I have an understanding of the task that I'm up against. And now I'm going to start coding and head back over to my editor and tackle writing the code starting in the next lesson.
Okay. So assuming in the next one he's going to actually start coding. Okay. Yes, I want to go.
Here, I'm using VS Code to solve this task, but you can use any editor that you want. And I've also created a new empty folder inside of my real Python folder that I called web scraping. And in here, I'm going to get started writing the code. So first of all, I will start a new Python script. So I'll right-click new file, and then I'm going to get name and color. So I'll just name it get name color.py. As a first step, I'm going to copy paste the URL that was given to me. I just looked at in the standard library and specify find quest.
He's going to
scrape.
Okay, so let's go to the article now. Okay. Business can benefit enormously from collecting and analyzing data from websites. That's what I'll learn. What's this? Python Basics, a practical introduction to Python. That's cool. Source code. Scrape and parse text from websites. Collecting data from websites using an automated process is known as web scraping. Some websites explicitly forbid users from scraping their data with automated tools. Websites do this for two possible reasons. The site has a good reason to protect its data. Google Maps doesn't let you request too many results too quickly. Making many repeated requests to a website server may use up bandwidth, slowing down the site for others. Okay, yep, you don't want to crash the site. Always check your target website's acceptable use policy to see if accessing the website with automated tools is a violation of its terms of use. Please be aware of the following techniques may be illegal when used on websites that prohibit web scraping. Yeah, but how do I know if it's... How do I know if a website is acceptable to web scrape from? You know, that's kind of my next question, right? I saw this when I was looking at different web scraping stuff today too. Everybody brings that up, but it's like, how do I know? Okay. URL lib, which contains tools for working with URLs. In particular, the URL lib request module contains a function called URL open. Just open URL within a program. URL lib library. Take some notes on this. Python's standard library for working with URLs. URL lib.request module contains useful function URL open. i.e. from URL lib.request import URL open. Okay. So let's bring my editor over. URL.libRequest. From URL.libRequest import URL open. Page equals URL open URL. Let's print the page. Print page. Oh, I don't think I have my key shortcuts set up to automatically run in VS Code. HTTP client response object. Okay. Yeah, returns in response object page. Yep, I saw that already. To extract the HTML from the page, first use the HTML responses objects read method, which returns a sequence of bytes. Then use decode to decode the bytes strings to UTF-8. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Bytes equals page dot read print. I want to see the bytes. I don't know if I can, but we're gonna try. And then HTML equals bytes dot decode UTF-8. And then we're going to print that as well. Print HTML. So let's try it. Okay. Clearly printing the bytes did not work. Well, I think it didn't work. Let's just try it again. Oh, it did actually. Interesting. Very interesting. So, boom. So that's the HTML. The output that you see, yep. With your URL lib, you access the website similarly to how you would in your browser. Rendering the contents, you grab the source code. Extract text from HTML with string methods. So that makes sense. Let's write some of this stuff down. Well, actually, I need to get going to go to the movie. All right. So I got started, a really quick one today, but I'm going to a movie. So if you join me for this short session, thanks so much. You know, didn't get too deep into it, but picked up a few small things, and you know, I got momentum, so that's dope. All right. Thanks for watching if you stuck around, and I hope you have a great one. See ya.